Whether it's true or not, people say Trump has a hard time winning over suburban women. Following the jury verdict and the labels that the radical left and Democrats are trying to put on your father-in-law, do you think that that's going to hurt Trump's chances with suburban women? Is it going to help? Is it going to change? And is that even true that he's struggling with suburban women?
Well, I think what suburban women are looking at right now are their kids and their families, and they're saying it is much harder to put food on the table for my family. It's much harder to go to the grocery store and make my dollar stretch. It's much harder to fill up my gas tank. I don't feel safe taking my kids places. I don't feel safe as a woman walking certain places anymore in my community. Those are real life issues. And I think they're much more concerned with that than they are any label ever put on Donald Trump, anything that he may have tweeted in the past. And I think it's why you've seen a huge shift in his direction, even following the jury verdict. And we know that folks in the mainstream media are going to love to call Donald Trump a convicted felon. It's literally been the only thing they've been banking on. Obviously, it's not working because his poll numbers just after the verdict have actually gone up. You saw a 5 or 6 point increase in his polling after that. And so whether it's suburban women, whether it's black voters, Hispanic voters, everyone's life is suffering right now, and people want to get back to normalcy. They want their country back. They want their life back. They want peace agreements in the Middle East instead of wars in the Middle East. And they know who brought it to them. And I believe that's why they're going to go out and vote for Donald Trump.
So what do you think about them setting the sentencing date days before the RNC convention?
Oh, isn't that convenient?
Right.
To put July 11th. It's funny to me with this particular case because you had multiple entities not bring it forward. The FEC said there's nothing here, we're not going to prosecute it. Cy Vance, the previous district attorney of Manhattan, said there's no merit here, I'm not going to prosecute this case. Alvin Bragg himself wouldn't prosecute the case until Donald Trump decided to run for president. He started gaining momentum, and they said, oh, we got to rush this case through so that it's right in the middle of an election cycle. So they jammed it in there, made sure that it happened. And now we've got to wait a month and a half, miraculously, for this sentencing. I hate to say that everything is orchestrated and planned, but it's hard to see it any other way. It's hard to see how all of this doesn't lead to one place, which is Washington, D.C. It's hard to see how this is not election interference. We don't know what this judge is going to rule in terms of what he'll do with my father-in-law. He's been very unfair from the beginning. He should have recused himself from this case from day one. And so, at the RNC and at the Trump campaign, we're just going to have to play it loose and see what he hands us. But the truth is, it ultimately doesn't matter because we will, no matter what he decides to do with Donald Trump, we'll make sure Donald Trump is the Republican nominee for president. He will accept that nomination, and we will move forward to November 5th.